I stood in that courtroom, staring across at my youngest son. Well, not just my son. The woman sitting beside him. My old college roommate, Patricia Henderson. 68 years on this earth, and I never thought I'd end up in court. But that day, what I pulled out wasn't some expensive lawyer. It was a worn leather ledger. 40 years old. This story starts last spring, in Portland, Oregon. I'd been running a small bakery for 32 years. After my husband Robert passed away 7 years ago, I raised 2 boys on cinnamon rolls and determination. My older son Michael works for a tech company in Seattle. My younger son, David, keeps saying he's building a startup. But it never seems to go anywhere. Mom, this time it's different. Just wait. That's what David always said. Last April, everything changed. I started having chest pains. The doctor's face was serious. Mrs. Thompson, you need a stent procedure. Your arteries are severely blocked. How much? With insurance, you're looking at about $45,000 out of pocket. I had savings. 32 years of 5 a.m. mornings had built up a decent nest egg. But then the phone call came. Hello, this is Agent Williams from Social Security Administration. Mrs. Thompson, your Social Security number has been compromised in a fraudulent scheme. We need to secure your accounts immediately. The voice sounded official, professional. What do I need to do? We need to transfer your bank funds to a protected government account. Just temporarily, until we resolve this matter. Can you go to your bank? I should have known better. But I was scared. And my old roommate Patricia had mentioned something about Social Security fraud at our last reunion. I went to the bank. Wired $580,000. Everything gone. When I realized what happened, I couldn't breathe. The bank manager called the police, but they just shook their heads. Ma'am, these scams happen every day. The money's already been moved through multiple accounts overseas. I'm sorry. 2 weeks later, the chest pain got worse. Michael called. Mom, when's the surgery? I'm managing with medication. Mom, what's wrong? I don't have the money anymore, sweetheart. Long silence. How much do you need? $45,000. Mom, Sarah and I just bought the house, and we've got Emma's college fund. Can you give me a week? A week passed. Then Sarah called instead. Margaret, I'm so sorry, but with Michael's student loans and the mortgage, we just can't right now. I understand, dear. I cried that night. Hard. 3 days later, a box arrived. From Michael. Inside were vitamins, a heating pad, and a book about heart health. Just this? I whispered, but the book felt strange. Heavy. I opened it. The pages were hollowed out. Inside was $25,000 in cash. And a note, Mom, this is all I could scrape together without Sarah knowing. She'd lose it if she found out. Get the surgery. I'll send more. Tears came fast. My boy hadn't abandoned me. He was just hiding his kindness from his wife. I got a loan from the credit union for the rest. The surgery worked. I reopened the bakery after 6 weeks. Then David showed up. With Patricia. Mom, you know Ms. Henderson. She's been funding my app development. My stomach dropped. David, do you know what this woman did to me? Mom, Patricia's my angel investor. I owe her $120,000. Patricia smiled that same college smile. Maggie, honey, I'm sorry about last year. The company I worked with went bankrupt. It wasn't fraud, just bad business. Bad business? You stole my life savings. Now, Maggie, David and I have worked out an arrangement. He'll use your property in Beaverton as collateral. My 2 acres, worth about $900,000. Absolutely not. David exploded. Mom, Michael couldn't even help with your surgery. I'm trying to build something here. Why won't you support me? They left. 1 week later, I got a notice. Patricia had filed a lien against my property. Michael came down from Seattle. He looked at the promissory note David had signed. Mom, this is legally binding. And Patricia's demanding payment. We need a lawyer. I don't have lawyer money. Then we need proof David paid her back. Any record of payments? That night, I searched Robert's old office. In the back of his filing cabinet, I found it. His ledger. Robert had kept meticulous records for 40 years. Every transaction, every expense. I found entries from 2019 through 2021. Cash withdrawals, each marked carefully. June 15, 2019, $40,000 David's investor repayment to P. Henderson. March 3, 2020, $40,000 second payment, David's debt. October 12, 2021, $40,000 final payment, Patricia Henderson. $120,000. Exactly what Patricia was claiming David still owed. Robert had paid it off before he died. But he never told David. Probably to protect his pride. I called Michael. I found evidence. We pulled Robert's bank statements. Every withdrawal matched the ledger, down to the date and amount. In court, Patricia's lawyer was confident. Your Honor, the defendant has no proof of repayment. The judge looked at me. Mrs. Thompson? I stood up, hands shaking. Your Honor, my late husband already paid this debt in full. Here's his ledger, and here are the corresponding bank statements. Patricia's face went white. The judge examined the documents. Mrs. Henderson, did you receive cash payments from Robert Thompson on these dates? I don't recall. You don't recall receiving $40,000 3 separate times? Silence. 2 months later, the ruling came. Plaintiff's claim dismissed. The lien was released. Outside the courthouse, David grabbed my arm. Mom, I had no idea Dad paid it off. He wanted you to succeed without shame, honey. I sold the property for $900,000. Gave $400,000 to Michael, $200,000 to David. Kept $300,000 for myself. Michael's seeing a marriage counselor with Sarah. David opened a small cafe. They still mess up sometimes. But I learned something from Robert's ledger. Records don't lie. Documentation protects you. Small habits, big consequences. Do you keep records of your life?